right now it's time to invite Luis Alvarez, the president and CEO of the Alvarez Technology Group, to show us what's new and exciting in the world of technology. Let's make sure we've got the right button here. Luis, what do you have for us today?
How are you doing, Bill? How's the show going today?
Pretty good. I'm it's interesting to fill in for someone and use a completely different show format than the one I'm used to.
I understand that.
Well, so, technology is pretty wide. What's in the news this week?
Well, one of the things that makes the American experience so unique is our love of cars. Are you a car guy, Bill?
Is the Pope Catholic? Oh, yeah. I love cars.
Well, just this month, Automobile Magazine announced that the 2013 Car of the Year, and for the first time ever, an electric car was a winner. The Tesla Motors Model S, the car company's all-electric sedan. Despite the criticism that alternative fuels and cars powered by them get, this is a real-world validation of the growth and success of those technologies. And it follows the trail blazed by the Toyota Prius, which has been out there for a while. And this represents a real shift in the public's acceptance of electric cars that can only bode well for our nation in the future.
An electric car of the year, huh? That's kind of hard to believe when you consider that most of those little electric cars are small and slow and not really pretty.
Well, I have to agree. There's plenty of those out there, but the Tesla Model S is a luxury sedan that goes from 0 to 60 in 4.3 seconds, and I'm sure you can appreciate that. And it smoked the BMW M5 sedan on which car can get to 100 miles per hour first. The fact is those really frumpy, bare-bones electric cars are a thing of the past. Tesla was one of the first companies to reimagine the electric car as a luxury vehicle that could compete with the best out there. And they're not alone. BMW, Infiniti, and Cadillac are planning on rolling out their luxury electric cars in the next couple of years. And, these cars aren't cheap. They start at $40,000 and up. So targeting the luxury car market where buyers are more affluent and environmentally aware makes a lot of sense.
What about those of us who care about the environment but can't afford a luxury car? I know that there are electric car alternatives for us, but are we out of luck, really?
Well, electric cars aren't just for rich people anymore. Ford, for example, has the Focus, which is an affordable electric car that's becoming increasingly popular with commuters. And Chevy has the Volt, which just today, Consumer Reports announced, topped their annual customer satisfaction survey with 92% of owners saying that they would buy it again. And there's also a bunch of hybrids now that fall into that category. They're not all electric, but they're very fuel efficient and very environmentally friendly.
Louis, let me play devil's advocate for a minute here. When we talk about alternative fueled vehicles, aren't we overhyping it a little bit? I mean, they represent a pretty small number of cars on the road, don't they?
Well, there are over 150 million cars in the U.S. on the road right now, and alternative fueled vehicles represent less than 10% of those. So it's still a very small but significant factor. Significant enough that the International Energy Agency estimated that by 2030, the United States will be completely energy independent, something that is only possible largely due to the fact that we've doubled the fuel efficiency of our vehicles, and largely because of electric cars and hybrids. And it's only going to get better over the next few years. Since the early days, development of the technology that powers electric cars has led to lowered cost and better performance. Right now, the cost of an electric car is heavily subsidized by various government programs that offset the true cost of the cars with tax credits and other incentives. But that's not that unusual in the history of our country. We all know that the Internet wouldn't be here today if it weren't for the billions of dollars that the government poured into the research and development of the Internet through DARPA, the agency that developed the Internet's predecessor.
So what do you think? Do you think we'll ever have an electric car that will be affordable without government handouts?
Oh, absolutely, and sooner rather than later. The momentum for electric cars is picking up steam, pardon the pun, especially with several new companies joining the party. Tesla, for example, started in 2003, and it took them 5 years of testing and development to produce their first car, the Roadster, which was the first production electric vehicle to use lithium-ion batteries and cost over $100,000. It then took Tesla just 3 years to develop the Model S, which cost half as much. So you can see that the development timeline is getting better and the cars are getting cheaper as the technology improves. Don't be surprised if in the next couple of years you start to see more electric cars on the road than those old internal combustion cars that we're used to seeing. electric cars aren't a fad. They're the future.
Oh, okay. You've convinced me. Now, can you hook me up with a Tesla?
No, there's a limited number of those bad boys, and I think most of them are already spoken for.
They are pretty little cars, I'll tell you what. And to go that fast, 0 to 60, is pretty impressive.
Yeah, they've done a great job, making the technology, more fun and really appealing to that American psyche that says, I want a fast car and one that looks pretty dang nice.
Well, listen, when you get your Tesla, can I have a test drive?
I would be happy to let you drive it around town, I promise.
All right. Well, Louis, as always, we appreciate you coming on the Costa Report, and Rebecca will be back next week to talk to you directly, but I appreciate your update. Thanks.
Well, you're welcome, Bill. And this is Luis Alvarez of the Alvarez Technology Group reminding everyone that when it comes to technology, forewarned is forearmed.